A big part of what I do here is curation. Pretty much everything we consume today is curated to our interests. Algorithms feed us content they think we're going to like based on other things we've interacted with. That's how we were connected, but there was a time where content was a lot less targeted and a lot more limited. You had to opt in, go to the movies, watch TV at a certain time. Hopefully you didn't miss it. But the advent of home media formats like cassette tapes and VHS allowed us to capture broadcasts from TV and radio, things we were interested in, things we didn't want to miss, things we wanted to remember. Still, somewhat limited, there was only so much space, storage on the tape, but out of this came unique mixes with certain qualities, some intentional, some not. You could tell a lot about someone, not only based on the kind of things that they captured, what was recorded said a lot about you, but so did the way that it was recorded. This idea has had a huge influence on how sleepcore is produced, and today, as part of our series Deconstructing Sleepcore, I'd like to look at the lost art of VHS mixes. Now, this is being produced to promote the release of the Sleepcore VHS. Every year around this time, I like to have some kind of merch come out. Last year was my book, The Nostalgia Economy. The year before was t-shirts. This year, it's this tape. This is an exclusive mix. It will never be uploaded. The only place to see it is on VHS. Think if Sleepcore is like a broadcast that you randomly pick up, this tape is a tape you randomly find. That's the gimmick. It's themed around late night weirdness and plays with the format of VHS. Tons of degraded tape for fans of that sort of thing like myself. The clips you're seeing here aren't actually part of the tape, but are all in the same vein, just so you know what to expect. These are available right now. I'll post a link in the description. I tried to keep the cost low because shipping costs are crazy. It's actually more than the cost of the tape, so I tried to factor that in. Also, friendly reminder, Sleepcore is available ad-free for free over on our Patreon. This channel is not monetized. Nothing is made from ads. We are 100% viewer supported, so if you like what we do, want to help make it happen, please consider tossing us a couple bucks. Patreon.com/FixandPortraits. Best thing you do, though, is keep watching, like, comment, share. Enough plugs, you know how the platform works. Now, I'd like to start by looking at the idea of a mixtape. Like I just said, they can be produced intentionally or unintentionally. What I mean by that is because of the nature of what was being recorded, a majority of these things came from TV. Many of these mixes, these tapes, were curated by impulse. You can tell a lot about someone by the way they're recorded. Some mixes are very clean, organized, with clear theming. Every episode of a certain show or an entire movie with the commercials cut out, perfectly timed. Others are a lot more chaotic with no immediate rhyme or reason to them, a collection of partial broadcasts, commercials abruptly jumping from one thing to the next. This is because the person who made it might have been watching something they wanted to record quickly and just grabbed or used the first tape available. Or it was their only tape. Again, things used to be a lot more limited. And it's these mixes that inspired me. Very similar to how I used to record things. If you wanted to, and you had the means, you could hook up two VCRs and make copies or take content from one tape to another. This is actually how I learned to edit video before iMovie and Final Cut, but most recordings came right from broadcast. Recording speed played a big part in how these mixes were produced. Most VCRs could record in 3 speeds, SP, LP, and EP, standard, long, and extended play. Depending on the setting, tapes could record 2, 4, 6 hours of material, with the trade-off being the quality would get worse the more content that was recorded. I know some people don't like shows and movies being referred to as content, but I do so to differentiate between what's being consumed and how, the medium or the media format, and the media. Most content you would want to see is probably easily accessible today in quality that far surpasses anything that was available before. But as we've seen on YouTube here, with the popularity of commercial compilations, people miss the medium. Some shows or things like special broadcasts, game shows, shows that weren't popular, never got commercial releases, but people remember. They remember a show, they've kept it with them, but commercials, promos, bumpers, other ephemera, not so much. So the nostalgia response is a lot stronger. Memory triggers are more complicated than simply, hey, I remember that. They could be spurred by aesthetics. VHS and its aesthetics are heavily associated with the 90s and earlier, but the format was widely used for home recordings, especially well into the 2000s. DVR or PVRs weren't that common, at least not until later in the decade, so there are some recordings available from, say, 2007, 2008, that have all the same aesthetic qualities of the 90s, but the content is obviously more modern. And this is something that I love about VHS mixes. They can jump around in time. Tapes can be reused, and all the content can be from around the same time or years apart. If they were curated by the same person, tapes can be a snapshot into a personality or experience, demographics. People recorded music videos, TV shows, commercials, movies, news segments that spoke to them and their interests, and these mixes offer a fascinating look into their character. The Internet Archive is full of VHS rips that show who we were. We can find our experience and what someone else chose to save and how they saved it. Preservation is so important. We have an entire video on our other channel about data hoarding nostalgia and why it's essential to preserving the past, our past. We think these things are always going to be there. That's not necessarily true. If there is something on the internet that you like, that you want to keep, that you want to remember, save it just like we used to. Anyway, that was the thought process behind the Sleepcore VHS. I'll post a link in the description. Buy yours today. Let me know what you think. Did you have VHS mixes? What did you record? How did you record? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share. If you like this format, check out our other channel, Read the Nostalgia Economy. Please consider supporting us on Patreon if you can. Again, I'll post links in the description to everything. As always, thank you so much for your interest in this channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the future.